Hello, guys, and welcome back. Today we are going to be looking at the Asian Games, and today is the final day. So, क्या ही exciting games आज होने वाले हैं. We have 4 players participating in this tournament, namely Vidit Gujarati, Arjun in the men's section, and in the women's section we have Koneru Humpy and Harika Dronewali. I have Vidit's game open right now. Vidit is playing against a Mongolian Grandmaster Bilgun Sumaya. Vidit is playing with the white pieces. Let's just quickly take a look at how did the game come here. Sicilian opening हुआ था. Knight f3 e6. So I'll just start talking about the game right now, and then in the break we will talk about some other stuff. So bishop d3 variation, very logical. Castle, queen c7, queen e2, trying to push e5. So black is like nope. Then he goes f4, again trying to say that I want to push it, and black is again like nope, नहीं push करने दूंगा. Then Vidit takes some center, so kind of getting a very strong center, so very good position. And now h5, very interesting idea by Bilgun Sumaya here. I have not personally ever been a fan of this ideas when you try to like start an attack on the king side without knowing where your king is going to be. But with the black pieces maybe उसको लगा कि यार थोड़ा कुछ तो dynamic chances create करना रहेगा, तो कुछ ना कुछ करना पड़ेगा. Vidit just plays h3, stopping all these knight g4 ideas. Also, just to make sure if everything is working and you guys can hear me and everything well. Sahil Garg, hello. I think Prag is more better than Vidit. Prag को खेलना चाहिए था Vidit की जगह. I think right now Prag is definitely in a very good form of his life. Vidit on the other hand is also an extremely solid player. So it's still going to be very interesting to see how he does. I think he's doing very well and has very good medal chances. So h5, h3, h4 played. Now he wants to somehow take control of the g3 square. Just bishop d2 played. Developing knight h5, घोड़े से कुछ ना कुछ tricks करने की कोशिश. Vidit is like nope. Knight g3, he stops. Knight g3 goes anyways. Rook e1, and now g5 played by Bilgun Sumaya. Wow. So the idea of this move, guys, आपको लगा कि ये क्या move है, which is actually very surprising for me too. But I think the point is कि if white takes, which Vidit did, the point is to get control of this e5 square. So actually, practically, it is a very nice idea. But in Sicilian Najdorf, actually, even I had a few games where white has this extremely powerful move, which Vidit could have played, knight to f5. And the point is कि अगर pawn से knight मारा तो there white has this knight d5, और ये rook is going to open up, the king is going to be in the pin, then ef5 के बाद white will have a deadly attack. But this is rapid, let's not forget. Vidit decided to take, and after knight e5 he decided to go back bishop f1. But now look, guys, black has got good control of the dark squares, and suddenly I think that black is trying to get in the game. So definitely will be interesting to see how Vidit will progress from here. I'm going to open the chat on my phone so that I can keep an eye on what Yes, Prague is actually playing in a. Was he playing in a team event when it started? But I think he was playing in a tournament where he performed. It was Spanish league. It was Spanish league where Pragananda was playing, and he played some excellent chess there as well. Prague तो भाई रुकने का कुछ नाम ही नहीं ले रहा है. Okay, so quick update in this game is that Vidit's game is getting complicated. After g5, I think that this knight f5 was a very powerful move. Instead, he decided to take the pawn, and now black has gotten some counterplay. In Asian games, he'll play in the team event. Oh, that is great news for us. I think Arjun is also there. I'm not sure who the fourth one will be. Let's actually, in talking about Arjun, take a look at how he is doing. Arjun is playing against the mighty Abdusattorov, and it seems like black is much better, guys. Arjun playing with the black pieces, ऐसा लग रहा है कि he has gotten a big advantage. So let's just quickly take it from the beginning to see how he landed here. He goes for the knight d7 move. Bishop b4, g3 takes c6. So in this line, white says कि मैंने pawn तो sacrifice किया है, but for that I will be getting a lot of compensation in the center with e4, and sometimes they even do this to open the line. And black कह रहा है कि यार man, and I don't know how many of you guys know this, but Arjun loves to grab pawns, and in this game he's like, अरे मैंने तो pawn मार लिया है, मैं तो बहुत खुश हूँ. Rook d1, queen e7, e4, and met by e5. Very typical idea. So black basically wants to stop white's expansion in the center, क्योंकि अगर white का e5 और knight e4 आ गया तो white usually is pretty happy, because he can start generating some attacking ideas on the king side. So very nice move by Arjun, e5, breaking the center. h3 rook e8, just adding more support, and after d5 it seems like he is consolidating his pawn advantage, which would be a wonderful result for him if he manages to get something from this game, because let's not forget Vidit and Arjun both are in medal contention if they do well in the last two rounds, and if I'm not mistaken, this is the first time that chess is been played in the Asian games, so it would be a fantastic opportunity for the Indian contingent to rack up those medals. And look at his clock, 15 minutes against 12 minutes, so a pretty significant time advantage. So let's try to think अभी क्या करना है. I don't know if I can flip the board. I should be able to. So let's try to look it from, yep, there we are. So now we try to look at it from black's perspective. So I think the ये bishop तो थोड़ा kind of बंद है. अगर कुछ तो करके हमारा ये bishop गेम में आ गया तो क्या ही मजा आ जाएगा. Maybe cd5. Maybe क्योंकि if you take with the e pawn, I can push e4 and kind of get my knight to d3. I think that would be a great result for black. And if white takes with the knight, then I think you can capture back, and if rook takes, then maybe you can get b6 and bishop b7. Last time Harika won gold. Okay, so I guess I was wrong in that this is not the first time that it has been played. Big Fat Sandwich asks if I am in America right now. हाँ भाई, रात के 2:30 हुए हैं यहाँ पे, in my state in Missouri, but I'm excited to follow this final day for Asian Games. तो मैंने सोचा कि यार आज लास्ट डे तो कवर करेंगे, और बहुत दिनों से I have not been active on YouTube, so I was like, let's give Indian team a little bit of positive energy. So after d5, Arjun is still thinking. I showed Speedy. Hello Arshit bhai, how are you? I'm doing great. Bhai. A little tired because it's 2:30 in the night, but at the same time I am in very good spirits क्योंकि two of my favorite players, Arjun and Vidit, are playing in the men's section and also in the women's section, जिसमें we have not taken a look yet. We have Harika and Humpy, both of them playing. So we will also be taking a look at that. Actually, let me see if I can quickly be able to get the women's games here. And oh, look what we have! We actually have Harika playing against Humpy. Wow, this is quite a surprise. I was not expecting that Indians can play against each other, but I guess since it's an individual sport, we can. Gautam Ravas, how do you feel about being the 69th GM? Honestly, at this point it has kind of become like my identity in many of the places or streams that that I visit, so it's kind of nice to at least have some sort of a funny thing attached to it. Please do streams regular if you have time, it would be great. For sure, I would love to do it. Asian games में legal है but FIDE games में नहीं. Okay, yeah, it was, मैं थोड़ा surprised था. So let's actually see how the game happened between Humpy and Harika. So Humpy played the Petrov defense, which is considered to be very solid. So we'll quickly go to the opening moves here. Knight f1, bishop f4. Black is considered to be very solid, but I love this idea of h4 and knight g5. And now we at least have one imbalance, bishop knight versus two knights. So whenever at least there is a small imbalance, and also we do have some space advantage, and maybe f6 is not the best thing that black could have had. So Harika is trying to put some pressure on the clock as well as gain some space. So we'll just catch up. And now actually important thing to notice in these rapid formats guys कि time इतना fast चला जाता है 10 minutes, so having an advantage of 4 minutes is going to be very crucial whenever they come down to the wire. What do you expect guys? आपको क्या लगता है? What is going to happen in this guys? Do you guys think कि the Indian players will just make a draw? Do you think that Harika with the white pieces will put pressure and win, or Humpy will show her experience and manage to win this game? Let me know what you think. I personally have a feeling that Humpy might face a little bit of trouble in defending this game, but I'm still excited to see. Cannot see opponent's time. Oh, maybe now. Let me see if I can fix that. Yeah, I think I fixed the time now. I think you should be able to see both the times. Humpy is down to less than 9 minutes, so Harika maintains her 5-minute time advantage. And rook to e4 played. I don't think they will draw. Yeah, it's I don't think that they will make a draw just because they are Indians. I think that both of them want to win and fight for the gold medal. And after rook e4, guys, there is a very cute tactic that white has. He can play the move f2 to f3, which she plays. Look at this. Harika plays this, and it seems like अरे यार pawn मर रहा है. It seems that the pawn on h4 was hanging, but guys, what is the trick that is happening here? Can anyone spot it? I will give you 20 seconds before showing the answer. Oh, I didn't realize that the leeches helps you with the arrows. Yes, exactly. Fork, bishop d6, queen d6, and knight to f5 attacks the queen and the rook. And bishop d6 के बाद knight 4. Amazing, amazing. Good spot, guys. So f3, she went back rook to e6, and now rook to e1. And Harika is playing very quickly. I like how Harika is playing this game, putting pressure on the clock as well as playing very logical moves. और ये घोड़े देखो यार ये घोड़े I mean लाइन से ऐसे बिशप के सामने आए तो ऐसा थोड़ा I feel as if white has this even aesthetic advantage over black's position. Let's quickly jump back to the men's section, see if there are any developments in that game. And Vidit's game was what I was especially worried about, because after I think हमने यहाँ पे लीव किया था bishop f1 के बाद, and Bilgun plays a move which I am not a big fan of. He plays queen to d8, trying to attack this pawn. पर अरे भाई king का क्या हो रहा है? Vidit comes back, knight f3, they trade, he takes, and rook d1, and suddenly I think that the king's safety is going to come under is going to be deciding white's advantage here, क्योंकि let's imagine you take, I take, and if white just gets one more move after c5, everything is going to open up. Our black का king center में there is no shelter, so it's going to be very hard for him to defend. And some iShowed Speed says that Vidit is in great form, definitely playing very good in this tournament. So after rook d1, let's see if the move has been played. Not yet, but yeah, looking good here for Vidit. Let's quickly check on Arjun's game as well. And actually we did have some similar ideas, but he took on d5 after going knight c5, so something similar to what we had seen. And now g6, very interesting move, trying to get his bishop on f5 here, Arjun, and d6 played. So I think both players are trying to mix it up here, trying to muddy the waters, and Arjun is down to his last 6.5 minutes, guys. So Abdu Sataro is trying to make sure that Arjun has to think over his next crucial moves, because he has to make a choice, क्योंकि अगर क्वीन से पॉन मारा तो नाइट c4 के बाद घोड़े के जंप्स स्टार्ट हो जाएंगे, जो हमेशा it's not easy to defend against, or you just want to ignore it, but then again the other ghoda comes in. So I think Arjun has a decision to make, and he played queen e6 actually, guys. So very interesting position here. Arjun हम सब जानते हैं कि is very good in time scrambles, so I am not too worried about Arjun being low on time, and knight b5 played. But I have to say I'm slightly worried about his position, because knight to c7 is giving a family fork. Queen और दो rooks का family fork आ रहा है. So queen f5 played, very strong move, and the only move, क्योंकि अगर queen se queen mara, and now if you try to give a fork, then Arjun says ki I will also attack your rook, and if you go here, then I think that some knight d3 ideas can be very very dangerous. Also knight b3 ideas are in there. So d6, queen f5, and now Arjun Nadirbek is thinking. If you take with the queen on c4, then suddenly Arjun gets huge counterplay with knight to d3, and now the f2 pawn is hanging, and if by any chance you think you cannot do this actually, because takes and then the f2 pawn is hanging, so not an easy choice for Nadirbek here, because also if you go knight f3, then suddenly you also sometimes have to be worried about e4, and again big pressure on the f2 square. I was also thinking कि ऐसा कुछ possible है क्या after king f2 to go e4, but I think that g4 is a very strong move, and it's going to be very hard for black. So queen f5 played, and now Nadirbek is thinking. So Arjun is definitely actually trying to hold his own against these pressure by the knights. So very very interesting games यार. क्या fighting games हो रहे हैं यार. I mean it's I'm very very happy to see such fighting chess being played in all the four by all the four players from our Indian team. Mayush Poses says nice commentary show Vidit's game. We are actually going to quickly be jumping to that game, as the final judgment on this would be that complicated and it can go in all three directions. So let's see. Quickly jumping to Vidit's game, we left it in this position saying ki white is getting some slight development advantage, and also I don't even know actually whose king is safer, but I think that since black's pieces are not yet in the game, white is slightly better. Bishop d7, bishop f4 played by Vidit. Bishop f4 played, and now after queen b6 check, king h2, black can suddenly have some harmony in his position if he finds this idea of long castle, because if you ever decide to take, then the b2 pawn is also hanging. Guys, this is going to be crucial, because bishop f4, queen f4, if Sumaiya Bilgun manages to find long castle, Vidit is going to be in a difficult spot here, but I am liking how he's playing with, and he finds long castle. So Vidit now, guys, Vidit now will need to be very precise in order to not allow black's pieces to dominate the dark squares. क्योंकि look, ये सब जो squares है, they are in much more control over of blacks because of there not being this f4 pawn and a dark square bishop. But the good thing for Vidit is that he has 10 minutes on the clock versus Bilgun's 4 minutes. So time is an extremely crucial factor in rapid games, or I think time में Vidit will manage to somehow create chances. If you guys saw Vidit playing Title Tuesday and Blitz on his streams, you would always see that Vidit is always very solid, never making any big mistakes, and whenever his opponent makes a small inaccuracy, Vidit jumps on that opportunity and takes advantage of that. So maybe we can actually stick to to this game for a bit, see how Vidit manages to play in this position. Okay, how do I? Yeah, 9 minutes and ticking. What about you guys? Can you tell how we should prepare for rating tournament? I'm going to play rapid rating. I think the best way is to just keep watching top level players' games and learning how they manage to. Was Rook D6 played? Let me just refresh. No. Okay. So after long castle, Vidit is still thinking. Yeah, just watch top levels games. In my opinion, that's the best way to improve, because you understand how they think, and your pattern recognition also improves. So let's see. I'm also trying to learn from this game how Vidit will manage to kind of, for example, maybe he wants to reroute his bishop on f3. Maybe he just wants to defend the pawn on b2. Maybe he wants to take the pawn on d6. Many options here, but guys, this is a very crucial decision for him, because if black manages to, for example, take this pawn and put his bishop here, then suddenly this bishop is going to be much weaker than this bishop on this diagonal. So I'll make this guy red or orange. So after long castle, he is thinking. Top level games देखना, इसका मतलब समय games देखना. Guys, I don't know if you saw Samay's game against Gukesh, but that game, I mean, even though he did not win, he played a fantastic game. I mean, I was actually scared कि यार next time अगर मुझ समय पूछेगा कि एक blitz game खेलेगा, I would actually like take it very seriously. So 6 minutes and thinking. Vidit is actually taking quite a few minutes on this move. And I think rightly so, क्योंकि इतना easy decision नहीं है. Rook D2 जैसा move seems a little too slow. On the other hand, I don't think this pawn is, just to mention कि ये pawn almost you can never take, because Rook F8 और Rook अंदर घुसने के बाद हमारा king बहुत ही ज़्यादा weak हो जाएगा. Queen F4 long castle. He's still thinking. Guys, I think we should stick to this game unless you see any big movement in the other games. I think we will stick to this game. B3 played by Vidit, and now suddenly black has gotten some momentum with him. He has gotten time, क्योंकि I don't see how black's king can ever come under attack, whereas I can definitely see how white can sometimes face some problems. Or this knight is like so powerful and scary that it kind of makes the whole position turn in black's favor for now. But 3.5 minutes for Sumaya Bilgun. Will he go bishop to c6, sacrificing a pawn on d6? Will he just play rook to g8, bringing his rook into the game? Will he play queen c5? So many options for him, but so little time. I think soon we are turning into a blitz mode. So Sumaya Bilgun has to change his mentality now. He cannot be thinking for a long period of time. b3, he's still thinking. Guys, Vidit has to make sure that he does not allow any tricks for black, and as long as he manages to keep playing normal and fast moves, black should have difficulties in the time scramble. He plays bishop to c6. It is looking a little scary for for white, I have to say guys, क्योंकि rook to t6 which looks like a free pawn is not a free pawn, because after rook d6 queen d6 black has an excellent move, queen to f2 attacking the rook and the bishop on f1. तो ये तो नहीं चलने वाला, and he takes the pawn on f7. Guys, क्या ही complicated है. अभी e6 pawn is hanging, but rook f8 is actually a very powerful move, because after queen e6 king b8 black just says कि तुमने दो pawn तो मार लिए, but how will you defend against my rook coming in and your king being so weak. Wow, will rook to f8 be found, or will Vidit manage to get away with just capturing 2 pawns? Shreyans Vaibhav just joining. Hello bhai. Such an important stage here. King to b8 played. 5.5 minutes for Vidit. Five and a half minutes for Vidit here. This is turning out to be very dynamic. He can capture a pawn on e6. Actually he cannot, because after queen f2 rook g8 and knight f1 turns out to be a very deadly mating attack. So king b8 and Vidit is taking his time, trying to figure out how to not allow his queen from entering. I think that rook to d2, rook t2 d2 is also not possible guys, because rook f8 and f1 bishop is hanging. So king b8, and now white faces a very difficult task. Sonia Arora is in the chat. Hello, welcome Sonia. We are watching Vidit Gujarati versus Bilgun Sumaiya on the last day of Asian Games. 8th round, very crucial round and very crucial position. Vidit is a pawn up in this position. 1 2 3 4 5 6 versus black's 5 pawns, but white's king is very weak, and we are slowly entering the bullet mode of this game, as Vidit is 4 minutes and ticking. क्या ही exciting चल रहा है. I'm going to quickly take a look at Arjun, see how he is doing, and it seems like Arjun is down on clock, and also his position looks a little scary because white has this amazing pawn on d6 and black's bishop seem to be dominating the position so far. So looks a little tough for Arjun here guys, but let's jump back to Vidit's game here. Queen f4 and e5 very quickly played. Queen f4, I'm very happy Vidit found this idea, because ये move अगर Vidit ने नहीं खेला होता तो फिर rook f8 और queen f2 के बाद it was going to be very hard. Rook f8 और queen f2 के बाद it was going to be very hard. So very nice. Queen f4 played, e5, and Vidit is like, okay, pawn मार लिया and now I need to just defend and be rock solid. Satwik Mishra, finally आपने भी streaming start कर दी. After a long time I am back Satwik, so I'm happy that I'm doing commentary. It's very late, by the way, for those of you who don't know. It's almost 3 a.m. here in my state in US, but it's still very nice to be here. Rook f8 and now rook to f2 is coming guys, so the position is actually looking scary for Vidit. I am actually worried for Vidit guys. 3 minutes. He is actually playing against a 2460 opponent, but let's not get confused with rating, because rapid rating is very very fluctuative, and he is a grandmaster, so definitely a strong player. Bishop d3 played. I think Vidit should be able to stabilize this position. I've played many blitz games with Vidit, and he is very very hard to beat. Vidit is very hard to beat. You might get a small advantage, some initiative, but he is like a rock. He always manages to protect his position. 1.5 minutes for Bilgun Sumaya. Rook to f2 played. I think Vidit should try to exchange the queen since he is a pawn up. Queen to e3, queen to g5 looks very risky, because after rook f8 there is some ideas with rook takes g2, guys. I'm going to show this variation: queen g5, rook f8, and if you play a move like knight to d5, there is mate in 2, rook g2, king g2, and queen f2 checkmate. So Vidit has to be careful about these tricks. And what has happened in the game? Rook f2 and Vidit is thinking. Rook f2 and Vidit is thinking here, guys. I think he should go for queen e3. When you are material, even though black has total control over the dark squares and the f line. Oh, he played. No, he did play queen e3. Okay. I thought he played queen g5, but that was just my variation. So queen to e3 played. I think Bilgun Sumaya kind of has to take, and we will be seeing a position like this. Let's just stick with the live game here, because the moves are happening so fast here. Queen to e3, queen to e3 takes, rook takes e3 has all been played in the game. Guys, final stages of the game. Will Vidit manage to convert his pawn advantage? I hope so, but it won't be easy. It won't be easy, since look at black's pieces. They are very very well coordinated and have a big compensation. Also, if you look at these bishops, black's bishop is better than. Okay, we don't have so much time for this. Rook to g8 played, and now suddenly he's trying to threaten some ideas on this line. 2 minutes for Vidit. Wow. I am feeling the excitement myself. I cannot imagine the kind of pressure these two players must be feeling right now. And guys, when you are at home looking at the engine, it is much easier to look at the best moves, but when you're in a real game and you see these two rooks attacking on your king, you definitely feel a little scared. So don't let the engine evaluation change your opinion about how dynamic this position is. Rook to g8, Vidit down to 1 minute and 20 seconds. Vidit has to make a move. Vidit has to make a move, guys. I think he should try to somehow protect this pawn. I don't know if rook to g1 is a move which comes to his mind. It is very passive, but I think that practically... Oh, he does play rook to g1, guys. He does play rook to g1. It looks very very... No, he plays, sorry, king to g1 played, my bad. I'm going to refresh so that I don't get confused with my own analysis. King to g1 played, and now they both have minute. Bullet. It's bullet time. Rook to b2. Now with it, can try to chase this rook. Say ki if whenever you exchange pieces, it's going to help me because I'm a pawn up. So endgame में हमेशा whenever you exchange more pieces, it is going to be beneficial for the one who has extra material. 40 seconds for Vidit. Let's go. Yep. Someone says that I'm not the best with OBS, or I definitely need some time to learn all that. But I am trying, and I'm sure that the next time I do this, I'm going to be much better. In the meanwhile, Rook to F3, Knight H5 was played. The G2 pawn is hanging now, so I think Rook to F2 was with its idea. I think we are going to be seeing Rook to F2 and a trade of this rooks. 20 seconds, guys. Very tense. Rook to F2 played. They do have a 10-second increment, so no one is going to get flagged. Rook to F2. Take Knight F4 played. I think Bishop F1 is more or less an automatic because the G2 pawn is hanging. You cannot go Rook G1 because this is hanging, and the only way to protect it is Bishop F1. So I think Bishop F1, Rook G3 very quickly played. I think personally that I would favor black a little bit because of the total domination this black knight is having over this bishop, and also this G2 and E4 pawn being a little weak. On the other hand, in 15 seconds it does not matter who is slightly better. It matters who will make the last mistake. And now knight d5, bishop d5 played, guys, and this knight is much more superior than this bishop. And even though white is a pawn up, I think that objectively black is slightly better here. So Vidit does need to be precise in order to not let this get out of hand. And he has 7 seconds. 6, 5. Guys, move. What is happening? Rook to E1 played with 3 seconds on his clock. I think Vidit is feeling the pressure. Bilgun Sumaya is trying to take advantage of his strong positioning of the pieces. A5, A4 could be a strong idea here for black. Also king, he could try to bring the king like this. Guys, this looks a little scary for our team member Vidit. This looks scary. I think there might even be a small delay with the moves coming in, because they are making moves so quickly that it's hard for us to catch up, because Sumaya is also now down to his last 10 seconds. What move did he make? Maybe I will try to refresh, because I am sure that there were moves played. I think there is a small delay from the transmission. क्या ही tense game है, guys. Last 10 seconds. Oh, they agreed to a draw. And guys, I think this is a good result for Vidit, not in terms of his opponent's rating but in terms of the position. विदित को ये गेम जीतने का कोई चांस नहीं था, सिर्फ ब्लैक ही ये गेम जीत सकता है. ब्लैक का किंग अगर आ गया इवन A5 A4, तो इवन ओनली ब्लैक कैन ट्राई. This was the crucial point in the game, guys. I'm going to show this again. After G5, Sicilian Najdorf players actually have seen this idea a lot. Knight to F5. अगर pawn से मारो तो ये घोड़ा भी अंदर, and then this rook will also open up, and the whole white army is attacking the black's king, and it would have been a deadly attack. Vidit managed to take, and after this black managed to take control of the dark squares and slowly this game was in a draw. We don't have so much time. Let's quickly jump to Nordirbek's game, who is playing against Arjun Irigesi, and seems like Arjun has managed to stabilize it a little bit, and he has very good drawing chances here. So both Indian players might actually save a worse position today in the first round of today, but 8th round in the tournament. The second last round. A5, and now I think he can just pick up this pawn, and after A6 come back. So I'm saying this variation, and this should be a pretty easy draw. Knight C. Oh, he took the pawn on D6. This was a mistake. He should have taken the pawn on B3, and after A6 come back Knight C5. But now after A6 King C7 Knight B4, suddenly it's not so easy. What is the score? So we just saw that Vidit Gujarati drew against Bilgun Sumaiya in the 8th round, and Arjun is playing against Nordirbek on the 3rd board, and he is actually having a very tough team. Guys, he made a mistake here. A5 के बाद he should have eliminated this pawn, and after A6 he has his own passed pawn. Oof. I think that objectively this should still be a draw, but with 30 seconds on the clock and 2 outside pawns for white, it will be a tough task for Arjun to save the game. But Arjun is a very tenacious defender. We all know him by his username Gandhivam on chess.com, and I'm sure we have all seen his amazing battles and victories against even the likes of Hikaru. So definitely capable of swinging and defending these kind of positions under time pressure. Let's see if we can do it again. Let us see if we can do it again. Also, we do have one more game which I quickly want to take a look at, which is Humpy versus Harika. We actually had 2 of our women players playing against each other, and we had a draw. I think we left the game somewhere in this position, and actually Harika had quite a nice and stable advantage, like in terms of her space, and a bishop knight being slightly superior against 2 knights when the pawns are on both flanks. And guys, Humpy had made a huge mistake. Can anyone find out what Humpy's mistake was? Why is this move a mistake? And Harika was completely winning. Wow, that would have been a huge upset if Harika managed to beat Humpy. Knight to f7 is a mistake, guys, because bishop takes c7, queen takes c7, and now knight takes d5. Amazing idea. The point is that if you take, then the rook on e6 is hanging, and if the rook takes here, then you can just take back, and the same concept कि ये मारा तो ये मर रहा है. Sahil Kumar finds it amazing. Sahil Kumar, good job. And if the rook takes, then the c7 queen is hanging. So Harika missed it as well, and then in the end they just managed to play solidly and agree to a draw. But huge chance there for Harika which was missed. Let's quickly jump back to Arjun's game. And what is happening here? What is happening here, guys? I told you that it's very hard to play this end games, and look how Nadirbek has managed to trap Black's knight, and there is no way to stop the pawn. This is an incredible performance by Nadirbek, who managed to understand that when the knight is 2 squares away from the king, there is no way he can stop the h-pawn. So unfortunately, guys, Nadirbek Abdusattorov is going to be taking down Arjun Erigaisi in this game. Very tough game. Arjun did manage to fight back from a very complicated position, but then in the end Abdusattorov managed to prove his endgame prowess. And yeah, Arjun will need to bounce back with the white pieces. There is still one more round, guys. This is the 8th round. There is still going to be one more round, the 9th round, that they are going to be playing. Yep, and Arjun resigns, I think. So we have Vidit Gujarati drawing against Bilgun Sumaya. Arjun Erigaisi unfortunately going down against Nadirbek Abdusattorov, and a peaceful result amongst the two Indians, Harika and Humpy. Mixed emotions. I think that the men would definitely have hoped to gotten better results. I think Vidit would have loved if he could manage to find the move knight f5 and gotten a full point, and Arjun as well, if he managed to get away with that half a point, would have been great. But still, there is one more game to go, and everything in the championship events comes down to the final game. So still lots to fight for, and I think that they have quite a big break right now. So I will also take a break, and I will come back for the last game if I manage to stay up, because it's almost 3:30 a.m. in the morning. If not, thanks a lot for tuning in, and I will be definitely coming back again from tomorrow, where I think we play the team event, where also we have Pragnananda coming in. And thanks a lot Yash Manjrekar for updating us, saying that Vei on 6.5, Nadirbek on 6, and Vidit on 5.5. So there we have the scorecard and results, which means that Vidit still has a lot to fight for. But thanks a lot, guys, for joining in. I just wanted to see if I can manage to commentate alone and manage OBS and all that. And I hope that today everything went well, and I hope that the Indian players do well in the final round. And until then, take care, and I'll see you soon.